Hi guys, this is Sarfaraz from Aristotle Prep and we are looking at question 88 from the OG 13 Critical Reasoning chapter. The stimulus says businesses are suffering because of a lack of money available for development loans. To help businesses, the government plans to modify the income tax structure in order to induce individual taxpayers to put a larger portion of their incomes into retirement savings accounts because as more money is deposited in such accounts, more money becomes available to borrowers. Simple argument which says the government will encourage individuals to save because the more they save, the more money is available to borrowers. The assumption is the government is assuming that those businesses are the only borrowers. What if there are other categories of borrowers also? Then, even if more and more people save or people increase their savings, the businesses may not necessarily gain because other categories of buyers could get borrow that money. So that is what I have in my mind. I haven't even read the question stem yet. The question stem says, which of the following, if true, raises the most serious doubt regarding the effectiveness of the government's plan to increase the amount of money available for development loan for businesses? So, as I said, what will raise the most serious doubt or weaken the argument is if we can somehow show that um, the increase in funds available for borrowing may not necessarily benefit businesses because other people could actually get access to those funds. So, A says when levels of personal retirement savings increase, consumer borrowing always increases correspondingly. That actually looks like the answer to me because it says consumer borrowing. Don't confuse that with business borrowing. So it says when personal savings increase, which is what the government is encouraging, then consumer borrowing also increases. Then the increase in the amount available for loans might actually be taken up by consumers and not by businesses. So A looks like a good answer to me. I'll hold it. B says the increased tax revenue the government would receive as a result of business expansion would not offset the loss in revenue from personal income taxes during the first year of the plan. Now, whether the government makes money or not make money is not our concern. Our concern is whether more money will be available for businesses or not. So B is outside the scope of the argument. C says even with tax incentives, some people will choose not to increase their level of savings. That's okay. Some will choose not to increase, some will choose to increase. Right? So it goes both ways. But will that increase be available for businesses? We have to weaken that. We have to say that may not actually happen. C doesn't do that. D says bankers generally will not continue to lend money to businesses whose prospective earnings are insufficient to meet their loan repayment schedules. While it looks like this option could be the answer because it says that businesses will not get loans, but this has got nothing to do with the government's plan. The question is specifically asking you to raise doubt about the effectiveness of the government's plan. This is totally separate. Remember, whenever you strengthen or weaken an argument, you always strengthen or weaken the connection between the evidence and the conclusion. You don't come up with additional points. D is coming up with an extra additional point which has got nothing to do with the evidence given to you in the argument. That is why D will be out. It's a tough option because a lot of people I'm sure would go with D. But D is out because it does not take into account the argument or the evidence, which is what makes up an argument. E says the modified tax structure would give all taxpayers the same savings for a given increase in the retirement savings. So how does that weaken the argument? I have no idea. A to me is definitely the answer because it's something that we always had in mind that all the money that's available for borrowing may not actually go to businesses. That is the way to weaken the argument. Consumers might actually get a big chunk of that. So it's a difficult question. On a scale of 1 to 5, I would definitely give this a 4. Have a nice day, everyone.